Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Now, normally I would begin by apologizing for the state of my desk. But today, no apology is forthcoming. I left this chaos here for a very specific reason. I not only is this a flip through of a journal that you may have seen in, in a progress video, but it is also, there are going to be some messages here. There are going to be some lessons to be learned at my expense. So, a couple of things. I guess that this video is going to be in some senses, a what not to do, in other senses, a peek behind the curtain into real life crafting in I suspect most craft rooms, as well as some lessons to be learned. So let's begin. This is, oh, see, I didn't think about a closure yet, but this is a Concertina accordion style journal. Now, I'm just thinking maybe it's a bit dark in here because it's overcast. See, another thing. Should have thought of that before I turned the camera on. So this, I love doing Concertina journals. I think that there's a lot to be said for them. But I have to say that with this one, I did some McIvoring, and I did, I think there's a school of thought out there that says, or that believes that, crafting by the seat of your pants is the ultimate. Well, there was a fair bit of that here, but also a number of places where I thought, boy, if I'd have thought about this or planned this a little better, I could have saved so much time. But let's begin. So you may have seen me show you the basic structure of this. Now, of course, I've done the decorating without you. And you can thank me later because, trust me, this was epic. Okay, so there was, all along, there was this little teeny tiny envelope. Not perfectly white, but I thought that was fine. Oh, incidentally, if it's not apparent, this is a gold and white journal. I thought that this was fine and that a little bit of contrast here and there does not hurt. Same thing with this button. It's almost taupey in color. So this little thing and this little sticker were not here. That was the extent of the card. But I thought it looked a bit naked, so I gussied it up a bit. Inside, now I will, and the reason I didn't really clean up at all is because there are several things I want to show you. This is like the teeny weeniest Punchinello. Now, I know I'm practically blind from all this glitter, all this shine. Hopefully, wait, let me show you in something white. See how tiny those holes are? Well, trust me, I'll be referring to that again. This was a roll, well, I've got a lot of it here. We carried this in our store umpteen years ago. And back in the day, we were charging 99 cents a yard. And so I don't know if it even exists anymore. Anyway, I used that here. And of course, the challenge is how to glue it down. I also tried to get a more ragged edge on there, as well as just a Christmas seal or whatever, sticker. This is also a sticker, but I left it on backing and just stuck it in here. Again, because the color family is close enough. Now this cover, a lot of the papers in here you'll see are sort of this really glittery stuff. I used, I dug out my foil envelopes, or not foil envelope, foil doilies. I have a few of them, and you can see that there's all, I just have them all together. Now that is garish. That is sort of brassy. I like the other gold better. And I also have a bunch of these these heart ones. Now, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with hearts. We all have one. And, you know, reason for existence and all that. But I don't know if they're overdone or commercialized or what the heck, but I don't ever, I think, use them in my crafting. But I did cut it down to get the pieces that I wanted. And you'll see, maybe you'll see, part of it here, part of it here. And this was the center. And this stuff was lovely to work with. That's all I could salvage, though, out of heart doily. There's a white one there for contrast. And then these stickers. And don't bother asking me where I got any of this stuff, because a bunch of these, and I think they may be a bit on the older side. Oh, I got at a garage sale several years ago, and it was, you know, an outdoor sale. I've referred to this before. The woman had a heck of a lot of stickers, I got, you know, a deal to die for. However, when I got it home out of the great outdoors, I realized that everything stank of cigarette smoke. So the thrill was kind of mitigated a bit by that. Anyway, that's another story. So I wanted to use a button, so of course I brought my gold buttons here. But the challenge with buttons is that, well, that one maybe doesn't look that gold. Oh, this is a plastic one. Let me find, well, I mean, you're familiar with buttons. You know that they quite often, why am I reaching for everything that's plastic? Anyway, a real gold button typically has a metal shank, has a shank. If you wanted a button that didn't have holes, it's going to have a shank, because how else could it be? So what I did here is I used my, hopefully yours aren't as rusty as this, wire cutters, and cut that shank off. And because it's plastic, it works pretty easily. Because, of course, I think maybe especially with this style of journal, you don't want too much bulk. But I consider this my front page, so I thought I could get away with it here. I had also considered these, but they seem to be lost. These are just some kind of, well, they're plastic snowflakes. Anyway, okay, maybe that's all I have to say about this. Okay, so then we flip it open. I had this pocket here already. I used one of those stickers that I showed you. I'm thinking that whoever buys this, you know, could put their name and a date or whatever there. Now, oh, another thing. And I don't know where I bought it, but I had these rub-ons. And I don't know if they all came in here or I just combined them or what. But you can see that some of them are darker. Some of them are white on white, which could have worked easily as well. Now, I don't know about you, but I am seriously beginning to believe that rub-ons are not worth a damn. If you knew how much time I spent, and I have some more scattered around here, how much time I spent trying to get well, number one, it's maybe the cheapskate in me that thinks, well, okay, even if you paid 50 cents for it, you bought it, you've been hanging on to it, you'd better see if you can use it. So I start rubbing. Now, of course, I can't find my little handy-dandy popsicle stick then. So I'm using a bone folder. And then I'm using this thing that we've all seen at Dollar Tree. Let me just put this out of the way. Well, my goodness, I practically need to go to the chiropractor because I think I was clenching a bit, shall we say, trying to, so the thing doesn't move, and rubbing. So I got this. It's, I mean, may the gladness. I should maybe try scratching that off. Or, I don't know. At this point, I'm probably going to leave it. Simply because I thought that, okay, if it isn't perfect, that's because it's distressed. So, well, I'll show you more as we go along. But I'm just telling you that I am tempted to throw those things in the garbage, never having... those are hours. Those are hours that I will never get back in my life. This is a cute little thing, a cute little journaling card, washi tape, and a poinsettia sticker. Pay close attention to this because there will be a quiz later. I realized that I'm doing a couple, several of these Christmas journal and other journal flip-throughs, but I've never... Okay, let me back up. You know that I have several tree journals. I taped the flip-through video several weeks ago. Just haven't pulled the trigger and actually listed them. So in one of those videos, or in that video, I read this note that I include with every journal. And I think, frankly, I think it's pretty good. So I just want to take a moment to read it to you. This will be accompanying every journal I sell. Okay, about this journal. I should credit Pam at the Paper Outpost for the whole idea of including a note, because I know she did that. If you subscribe to her newsletter, her version is there. I, of course, made it my own, and this is my version. Welcome to your handmade, one-of-a-kind journal. It represents promise and possibility, exploration and expression, insight and inspiration, discovery and development. And anyone who's watched me for more than 5 minutes knows that I love alliteration. So you chose its purpose. You choose its purpose and place in your life. Keeper of dreams, art lab, secret diary, future planner. You decide if it's a place to play or a safe and serious place for introspection, or both. Explore and enjoy its special contents, but make it truly your own by adding images, words, favorite quotes, doodles, coded messages, special papers, masterpieces of your own creation. Whether you use it as a lookbook, a glue book, a diary, an art journal, or a sanctuary, please know it was created with loving care. I wish you peace, contentment, and joy as you make it your own. I typically don't, I'm more the self-deprecating kind of personality, but I have to say I am so pleased with this because I think it says it in a nutshell. Anyway, you decide yourselves. Okay, so here is that same ribbon. Oh, I should pull this out. So you can see, this is kind of almost... So I thought, well, okay, let's make this a belly band, nice and firm. Let's make a card. And finally today, I figured out how to use a punch like this. I won't embarrass myself by telling you what I did in the past. I used a just a little cutout from something or other to make a tab. I punched out these 4 corners. Now, in hindsight, okay, lesson, it may have been better not to do the bottom of the card, simply because we know that sometimes aiming something into a pocket is not as easy as we'd like it to be. With the holy nature of this ribbon, I ran it up to the edge of the page, and I used Fabri-Tac. But of course, a lot of it oozes out through the holes. So then I thought, well, okay, why don't I use this washi tape just to secure it a little better and cover up any glue residue that there might be. Again, I see I have something that I need to try to remove. I think that's some glue blob, you know, something. These are very cute, and of course the coloring works well. And this is the first example of a little forethought would have saved me a bunch of grief. I wanted this thing to dangle here, and of course there are plenty of holes to thread it through. My first attempt, no, not that. Let's see, that's why I left the mess here. Am I going to be able to? Okay. In my thing of fibers, I found this skinny little piece of thread. Now we know that metallic thread is often a metallic fiber woven, twisted around a non-metallic fiber. I didn't time myself, but I should have, because I'm telling you, I wasted so much time trying to get this dam, and I mean dam, thread through a hole. And of course I want it doubled up because one thickness may be too weak. To get it through the hole and get it through here and not have it tight, but have it dangle a bit, because that would be more artsy-fartsy. You can see that I tried that so many times that it was beginning to come apart, as was the creator. So then I thought, okay, well, I don't want to use cord because that's too thick. And, you know, that elasticy stuff, or the stuff that isn't elastic, like, I mean, that too, that matches those other doilies. That's awful, in my humble opinion. Anyway, so then I dig out my Gutermann metallic thread. I've actually never tried to run metallic thread through my sewing machine, but I thought, oh, this will be perfect. It's thin, it's blah, blah, blah. Again, should have treated it like thread, threaded a needle, aimed it through the hole, and this is not the nicest, I have to say, and hopefully you can't really see it. I mean, it's a combination of looping it through and tying it. I mean, it's doing what I wanted to. It's dangling. It's free motion here. I would have liked this to be neater. And I would have liked it not to take 17 attempts to get it through there. I putzed around with this so much that this let go and I had to re-glue this side of the belly band. So, the lesson here is that if you want to attach something to a belly band of any kind, do it before you glue it down. Like, is that so hard to figure out? Sheesh. Okay, carry on. You know, if you saw the previous one, you know that I had, I think, one of these beautiful napkins, and I was determined to use it because, again, the coloration works. So those girls are there. All I did was add more of the stickers, 2 stickers specific. No problemo. Then I have these brads, gold snowflakes and pewter colored ones. Anyway, so I thought, and I had this card, and it's kind of also, but you know, when you have a busy background like that, to me, this color blocking was really smart because it, forgive these fingers, the color blocking, it creates a contrast between the swirly, busy, glittery background. So I thought, well, okay. So I used my tiny punch, made a hole a little smaller than I thought I needed to get the brad through. I could have glued this down. I could have made a pocket. I could have made a tuck. I mean, we've all seen that before. But I wanted to do it this way. Now, that means that the prongs are going to be on the other side, and I had to deal with those. Now, this is the back cover. Now, remember I said, remember the poinsettia. Oh, let me first lay the groundwork here. So this was these three angels were all together. The thing was too wide. She became a belly band. But picture it just plain. It was pretty naked. So I used some more of the, this tissue paper. And I thought that was rather artsy-fartsy as well. It almost looks like a constellation of stars. I used some of this narrower washi. And I offset the same stickers in opposite corners. And the reason I did it that way is because it is a belly band, so you don't really want to put too much stuff in the middle that is either going to hinder the smooth movement in and out or is going to make it so busy that it's a problem. So I thought, okay, I'm about to do the flip through. I better get something to put in there. So this was just a scrap piece of paper here, rounded the corners, and stuck the sticker down. Well, I have another one of those stickers here somewhere, I think. This sticker has green. The only bleep green in this project. But of course, by then I'd stuck it down. So I thought, well, I'm not going to let that happen again. I think it looks better this way. So then, and I realized, okay, even though I use art glitter glue, I'm able to pick some of this up. And I started doing it. You can see I've chopped off some leaves, not well, mind you. But I started, and I thought, no, let these people see what real crafting is like. Let them see the stuff that goes on in private. So I'm peeling this off, knowing full well that I could ruin the sticker, ruin the paper, but sometimes it's the principle of the thing. A design decision is just the wrong one. And again, maybe I saved a nanosecond of time by using the sticker as it came off the sheet. But what did I save? I didn't save a darn thing because it annoys me. And because I'm now creating extra work for myself, I guess I don't have to worry too much about this because I will be gluing it back in the same spot since I haven't really ruined the paper. Okay, so, of course, when I fussy cut, or when I chopped the green off on that other sticker, I realized that I'm going to have to fussy cut around the whole thing because it would look stupid if I had white bands around part of the sticker and not around all of it. So, sorry, I typically never do this with you watching, but I thought this was an important point to make. So, before I stuck the sticker down, I thought, yeah, I don't like that green. But what is a little bit of green? It's not going to kill anybody. The gold-white theme is still, you know, kind of very, you'd have to be blind not to have picked up on that. So, big deal. But it was a big deal. And I don't consider, I mean, well, I was going to say I don't consider myself an anal person. But honestly, some things matter. When it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But when it matters, it matters. And frankly, my good name is at stake here. I don't want to put out, to make available for sale, to take money for something that I'm not happy with. I have to do it to the best of my ability or not do it at all. And that, I think, is, to be honest, a bit of a baby boomer type lesson many of us learned. I know that I'm not, I think that with age and with getting into this hobby, passion, practice, whatever it is, I've come to realize that not everything is a hill to die on, that some things matter more than others. I did not want to turn this little teeny weeny journal into my life's work, and I could have. And I bet you, if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize you could have done it too. I wonder, is that going to totally cover my... I might have to put something underneath there, because I don't want those little... that little damaged area too. See how this goes? There's a domino effect here. Anyway, I didn't want to turn this into my life's work. And you know that it could have been. I could have thought, well, okay, I don't have any dies here. Let me do some die cutting. I haven't stamped anything. Oh my goodness, how can you sell a journal that doesn't have any stamping done in it? And what about some hand sewing? You know, surely that's pretty well compulsory these days. And heaven help me, I didn't ink anything either. That's not what I wanted. Now, I hope, but again, I'm doing this for me, I hope that you agree that this looks better without those little green leaves. Now, I also have some gold wax, and I apparently, well, not gold, I guess bronze. I also have Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink. I didn't do any sample inking to see if that's going to be the perfect thing. It does maybe feel a bit like this edge needed something. And I guess if I continue to look at it and think, oh, it does need something, then maybe I will touch. Let me just see. Here Here, I'm talking myself into something right now. Sorry, guys. Crafting by the seat of my pants. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm looking for the brush. You know I like using a dirty brush every so often. This one. And this is scrap. Yeah. Maybe I will do that just for the teeny weeniest bit of contrast. Again, haven't touched it to the ink pad. That would be, take some looking to find it. But usually there's enough pigment left on still got some green leaves happening. So again, this was a spur of the moment decision here to give that a wee bit of contrast. Okay, we're through the first side. Woo! Okay, let's, because I'm sure there's more on the other. So this, in essence, becomes the cover for the other direction. You know, the other cover. So I think it's okay now. I had received a gift a year or two ago with this Joy ribbon, and I absolutely love it. And I think this was the jumping off point for this gold white journal. I had attached it to a piece of white cardstock. It was open. I added this bit of glue at the bottom so it becomes a catch-all type pocket. I did want to draw your attention to this ribbon. This is another leftover from our store. I loved this ribbon. We used miles of it. 30 cents a yard. Love it, love it, love it. So I was glad I could use that. Because after all, if I've been keeping it for 20 years since the store closed, damn well better use it. Piece of, just a piece of heavier paper. And I had this cut out, same family as some of these other things that I have here, like the Merry Christmas and so on. Anyway, I thought, well, it's rather big, but if I put it off the edge of the page a bit, it'll be very beautiful. And I think it is. Now, you're wondering to yourself, how can a person get the glue where they need it and only where they need it? Well, what I did was I positioned it. I knew I didn't want any of the edge of the card to show. I was clever enough to round all the corners beforehand. And you may be able to see a faint pencil line. So once I had it in position, I drew that little pencil line. And I guess I should try to erase the residue. It is coming off. And that told me exactly where to put the glue. And then, what's going on here? And then I did, I attached it from the back side so that I could see exactly where my mark was. And I think it's nice. Here, now, of course, we can't see it anymore because I was so clever, were the prongs from the brad. So I had some of this. What is this anyway? Oh, I know. No. that's not it. What? Oh, that was this. I cut a hunk of this stuff off. See, it almost looks kind of greenish there, but it was fine. Then I had some of this, which I believe is also, maybe not. No, this, I must have bought this. This is a rather wide gathered ribbon. In one direction, it sort of tore kind of nicely and frayed. Anyway, I used that piece of doily and another button to make a little cluster to hide the prong. And this is just, again, that same napkin. Okay, this is one of those wedding invitation things that I seem to buy quite often and don't use nearly often enough. So I had this. I used, I guess, the ribbon that came with it. Don't have that right here. But I thought, oh, why don't I use a rub-on? Rub-ons are so beautiful. Now, my story, and I'm sticking with it, is that I wanted this broken, distress, rough and tumble kind of look with these cracks and whatnot. That's my story. I wanted a reindeer with only part of his antlers showing. I wanted a sleigh that had only part of its runner showing. She said with disgust. But I wasn't about, oh, see, I should have, that's another thing. This pocket, of course, has the notch cut through both thicknesses. Now, what I should have probably done is glue down that bottom one so that I wouldn't have trouble sticking that in. I guess the bonus is that there could be a hidden pocket there, you know, behind it. This thing is obviously on the card. This is on the envelope. So, again, the nature of vellum is that you can see through it. I added another one of those cutouts there. When I was looking for something else a week or so ago, I found that I have a number of vellum these little quotes and so on. And they came out of a pad this size. I had to cut them out. That were, I don't remember the brand name, but it had, like it was seasons. So I picked all the ones that were winter and or Christmas. This one I liked. I did some more rub-ons, again, thinking that if these snowflakes are imperfect, that's just dandy. That's fine with me. This is another napkin that I have. I think it's part of my gold assortment in my Etsy shop. I thought I had another piece here to show you, but oh yeah, there it is. So I like stuff like this. You know, I like these kinds of designs, and I like the tone on tone. And of course, it works here. That was on the page. I just stuck it smack dab down the middle, and then again, crafting by the seat of my pants. Then used this vellum piece, and I glued it down with my Yoo-hoo glue stick. I had torn around the edges, except the bottom, which was too narrow, and I couldn't do that. So I kind of made it a little jaggedy. And then I thought, well, it looked a bit lost there too. So let's add a little bit more metallic with that washi. And then I used this little teeny tiny, whatever these things are called. That's not really a banner, but, or is, I don't know, whatever it is. This is not a pocket or anything. It's just beautiful. And there we are back at the beginning. So I will say that I hope that some of the the pain of creation that I experienced today will, now that I've shared that with you, will be something that you can avoid in your own crafting. It's impossible to do that, to eliminate that totally. I know that. But I think that's why we share and why we watch and why we ask questions and why hopefully whatever channels you're watching and corresponding with the creators, hopefully they're taking the time, are not so busy, not with their 100,000, 60, 50, 35, 6, 10,000 subscribers that they never actually respond. Hopefully you're asking the questions you want answers to. Hopefully you're getting the answers either from a creator or from just your own research. I guess down to the business of this. I will figure out a tie. I do have a whole, where is, oh, it's too far to go for. That's too narrow. I do have, this is too much. I do have like one of those shoebox, clear shoebox type thing holding some of my gold ribbon. So I'll probably, maybe white would be a nice contrast as well. Anyway, I'll figure out a closure. I'll do the photography. I'll upload this video, and you will be able to find this particular journal along with another Christmas one, the whimsical one, and a couple of non-Christmas ones in the Traveling Crafters Makers Market. That is a mouthful, but the link will be, the hashtag will be in the title. The link will be in the description box. And hopefully, if you're interested in this and are prepared, as they say with adoptions, if you're prepared to give this little journal a forever home, I hope you check that out. Thanks so much for sticking with me. Excuse me. Thank you for letting me indulge in some mini rant, and thanks for letting me remind myself that not every decision that we make in this, well, as I said before, is the hill to die on. However, the work we do, the videos we create, the work we put out there for sale is our signature. And I want my signature to reflect my values, my ethics, my work ethic, and my standards. So, and of course, everyone determines that for themselves. I just have to remember maybe to do a little bit more of dry fitting and a little less of this impromptu backtracking stuff. And if you ever need a reminder, just think of a white poinsettia and some Punchinello ribbon. Thanks, guys, for joining me. I so very much appreciate you, whether you're new, whether you're returning. I love that you are watching. I love that you are commenting. I love that you have a sense of humor and don't mind, engaging with me when there's a little give and take, a little bit of maybe teasing and a little sarcasm involved. I hope that you take the time to watch the video I did with the hashtag Happy Mail Movement. It was started by Kim Newberg, Canadian from the Maritimes, and I think that there is a fair bit of interest in taking part, not only with Kim, but with me and other channels that have jumped on board. It's a way to do a bit of mindless crafting, to share some of the stuff we've all acquired, and to ensure that people are getting a treat in the mail that does not have a Visa or MasterCard logo in the corner of the envelope. Just saying. Anyway, guys, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.